Everyone, this is Sam. This video is to give you an overview of the new school readiness assessment that will be done for incoming grade ones and will also be done at the very beginning of the year for grade ones that are already in our reception class. Okay, so I'm going to be going back and forth because at the bottom of this document are pictures that will help you as an assessor to figure out whether the child is completing the activities correctly. So this is by no means a comprehensive assessment. This is merely a snapshot of the student's abilities, both cognitive and physical, so that we get an idea of the child's strengths and weaknesses as they come into the classroom. So as the assessor, the first page is for you to fill in. You will fill in the child's name and surname and the date of the assessment. Please fill in chronological age in years and in months. This is important because we're going to make a comparison between the child's chronological age and the child's mental age. Now, the child's mental age will be calculated from the picture they draw of themselves, and I will explain that as we go along. The next, the test that we will be doing will firstly be the mental age test, and then touch your ear over the opposite hand test. Can they do it, yes or no? You will circle whether they can do it or not, and I will explain the details once I've done the overview. Number 2, draw an infinity sign on a wall-mounted whiteboard. Can they do it, yes or no? While the child is busy filling in and drawing, please check for correct pencil grip. There's a picture for reference at the bottom, yes or no. And then can the child write their name with a capital letter? Yes if they can, no if they can't write their name at all. And if they do write their names even without a capital letter, then we'll just circle almost. Is the child right, left, or non-dominant as far as their hand is concerned? And you will circle that. I just need to correct here and put in hand. Tracing lines is an activity that will be done, and when it comes to tracing lines, I will explain again in detail with each activity, identifying numbers, identifying colors, identifying shapes, counting of pictures and writing the number, phonics, high frequency words, and then gross motor skills is can stand on each foot for 10 seconds with the eyes open. And there's a picture attached at the bottom for your reference. Yes for a bit or no. And then the same test, but with the eyes closed. Can stand on each foot for 10 seconds with eyes closed. And for this, you'll just need your cell phone timer and just to give you an idea of the time that is being used. Yes for but no. And then you have notes and observations. Right, that you can write anything about the child that you know or have observed in here. Okay, so we're going to go through the actual assessments one by one. So here there's a place for the child to write their name. It would be preferable if the child was given a thick triangular pencil, and they should be asked to write their name, and you can ask them to write their name with a capital letter on this line. Then they will be they will be given crayons or markers, and please tell the child to draw the best picture of themselves here. They can use colors and whatever you have available for them to draw. When it comes to assessing this, we'll go right down to that part of the addendum at the bottom of this document. Here you will need to tick each body part that is drawn and refer to assessor handout to see mental age. And then here you will write the score and the mental age as well. So I'm just going to quickly go down to the bottom to show you what that looks like. So here we have, and this is the most complicated part. What would be preferable, since I have lots of experience doing this, is you you do the assessment and then you send the completed assessment to me once the child is gone, and then I can go through this. But just to give you an idea, it's great knowledge. You get one. The child gets one tick for every body part that is drawn. Example: if the head is drawn, they'll get a tick. If there are legs, there's one tick. Arms, a tick. And then if the arms and the legs are attached to the body or the trunk, they will get a tick. There are ticks for clothing, if there's a hat or trousers. If the child has colored in themselves and they're not left opaque or see-through, they get a tick. They get a tick if they've drawn fingers, if there is an elbow or a shoulder evident. Also proportion, uh, and if there are indications of eyes, nose, mouth, uh, all these have the child will be awarded points for. And here is the score chart. If the child has maybe gotten 11 ticks, then that child's mental age in the next column is 5 years and 9 months. If the child has scored 5 ticks, because they've drawn a very basic picture, then the child's mental age will be 4 years and 3 months. So I will be here to be able to do this for you. The rest is simple enough to be able to be done by any assessor. Okay, so now is the tracing of lines. Trace the lines, do not pick up the crayon until the end of the line, and do not turn the page. So what happens, we want the child to hold the crayon and draw the entire line from the very beginning and all the way to the end, and just shift their hand, drag their hand along the paper without lifting. That's the first thing. The second thing is, we don't want the child to turn the page from side to side. That's an indication of immaturity. So if the child does do that, put it in your observations. However, encourage the child to keep the page straight. So you have 3 lines. If they've done it correctly, you can indicate how many have been done correctly in the score circle here. Right. The next is number identification. Say these numbers, point to each number for the child, tick in the row above. So I suggest for this, from here onward, that the child is given the paper, this blank paper, to read from, and you tick on a separate piece of paper, a copy of this document, because you don't want the child to see you ticking or crossing. That can impact the assessment. So that you can point to 3, and if the child says 3 in your document, you put a tick. If the child says 5 instead of 6, you put a cross. Count up how many correct, indicated here on your paper. Here again, you will not tick on the child's paper. This is just for the child's reference. Point to each color, red, and ask the child, what color is this? If they say red, it's a tick. If they say purple, it's a cross. Calculate and write the correct number here. Shapes as well. Just point to the shape and ask the child, what shape is this? And if they can say it, indicate a tick on your sheet. Calculate the total. Count and write the number. Here the child will count each block, the number of apples in each block, and write the answer. Now it comes to the phonics. And here I want to stress that we are not assessing letter names like C and M and Q. The child needs to be able to say the letter sounds. K, M, Q, I, P, V, E. If you are unsure of the letter sounds, please let me know, and then I can make an audio of just the sounds and the letters. So you will indicate ticks if they have gotten it right, and there are 26 sounds. you will indicate how many they have correct. High frequency words. Here again, just tick across in your paper, the copy that you have, and it's 20 high frequency words that can be indicated here. Now we are going to go back up. Please don't get dizzy. So number 1, touch your ear over the head with the opposite hand, and we're going to go over draw an infinity sign on a wall mounted whiteboard, correct pencil grip. These are the things we're going to talk about at the bottom. This is for your reference. The child will not see this. Okay, so this is the picture of the lady is what you want the child to do. With either hand, you want the child to put their hand over their head to try and touch their ear. Now, this blue arrow on the boy, if the child indicates two things. If the child's hand or even the very tips of the fingers touch the top of the ear or go lower, then you will indicate yes, that child has physical maturity. If, however, the child's hand only ends up being above the ear in this region, then you will indicate no, because that indicates physical immaturity. The stand on one leg is a gross motor test. It is a balancing test. So the child will stand on one leg and you will time on each leg 10 seconds. The child will, in the first round, will have their eyes open. If they can do it, you will indicate yes. If they can't, no. Then the child will repeat the test. This time, stand on one leg, close your eyes, and then count to 10. Do it for each leg and then indicate whether they can do it or not. Okay, pencil grip. Now, don't worry about the first picture, because that shows you with an aid. The second picture here is the pincer grip. It is the correct way to hold a pencil. If you find the child holding the pencil in the pincer grip, you will indicate yes. But if the child is holding it in any other way, like indicated at the bottom, then you will indicate no. So that's the pencil grip observation. And then you will need a whiteboard and a marker. The child needs to stand up and draw an infinity sign, which is what is drawn here. But the infinity sign has to be a very large infinity sign, preferably wider than the child themselves. And if they can draw it, you can indicate yes. If not, you'll have to say no. You can demonstrate the infinity sign to the child, because the child won't know what to do. So you will show the child that you stand, you hold your marker in front of you, and you will draw a nice big infinity sign. Erase it and ask the child to do the same. Okay, so this is the overview, and I hope that it gives you some clarity as to what we are assessing. I think everything's pretty straightforward. The only thing that is a little bit complicated is this picture of you. Draw the picture of yourself, and that does not need to be assessed when the child is there. That the child just needs to draw, and then we can assess together maybe, or you can send it to me for an assessment. I hope this really helps you. Let me know if you have any questions or any comments. Bye-bye.